Instead of rushing them into warfare, God brought them through the wilderness to show them that he could provide for them in dry places, that he could feed them with manna, that he could bring water from a rock, that he could protect them when they didn't even have weapons, just to let them know that they didn't need Pharaoh. All they needed was him. You still don't see it, Jarvis? Yeah. He did it, all of them, to let them know. Listen, they went through the wilderness and they had shoes that grew with their feet. You don't see it either. I promise. Avery, I don't know if Avery can tell y'all where it is, but it's because I didn't send it to Avery separately, but it's right there. Pinned. Oh, he found it. Yay. He got it. Now, Alicia is proving that she's blind too, but she wears glasses, so I ain't going to be mad at her. Avery, are you going to show your face or are we just going to talk? Are you going to show your face? Because if you just go show your face, then I would just let you call in, my friend. Because I need my video to look a certain way. Are you going to show that face tonight? Show people your pearly whites and your green, blue eyes, whatever you have, Avery. Because I don't see you. All right, y'all. Should I let him on if he don't have his camera on? Y'all tell me. No, for real, I want y'all to, if we on the camera, I want you to be on the camera. But otherwise, you can call the phone number and we could just listen to your voice. And I do that for video purposes. But I'm going to go ahead and let him on this time, because this is new. Hold on. All right. Avery, you there? Why you don't want to show your face?
This is Jarvis Talley.
Oh, that's what I'm sorry. Jarvis, you don't want to show your face?
I'm trying to, man. It says stop cam. I'm start cam. I've got everything
allow.
on,
Yeah,
man.
you should hit allow or something somewhere. There should be a place where you hit allow.
I did, man. It's not, for some reason, it's not liking it. I don't know.
It's not like it.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have got it from the Dollar Tree.
You shouldn't have got. Yeah, right. You ain't know where a Dollar Tree. Yeah, you might go. I go to Dollar Tree and get candy. So I guess. All right, yeah, we got Jarvis on. Talk to me for a little while. Talk to me. What's up? How did the show bless you tonight, or what did you want to introduce tonight?
Oh, it did bless me, man. I especially loved and appreciated the last guest, man, and your story as well, man. You know what I mean? The ability for someone through adversity to understand what it means to lay sideways. You know what I mean? And I was there with you.
Yeah.
And me and you have much more in common than you realize. So it's a beautiful thing that you was able to share that story, and as well as the other sister, and I appreciate it. And there was a lot of things that I got from it. So your story, your whole show, man, is extremely important.
Yeah.
And I hope the listeners here come to grasp how important and how valuable this segment is, you know. So I mean, for me,
let's talk though, for real though, since you're here. Let's talk about some mountains that, because I know you've had some difficulties, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you've been very public in some of your challenges and your trials that you've had to go through over the last, I'm gonna say, last 5 to 7 years that you've had to go through. And I know those were mountains, you know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes and let me say this, sometimes mountains look like eclipses because they really darken the day where you really can't hardly see the sun. Right there you are. We see you now, Avery. So don't do nothing crazy. We see you now.
Man, you call me Avery one more time.
I'm sorry, Jarvis. I'm sorry.
Do
Y'all
my
all
hair
light
look
skinned.
like
You know,
Avery's?
y'all all light skinned, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all light skinned folks. I'm sorry.
Avery is funny
Yeah.
looking, man.
Yeah, Avery. Why you call Avery funny looking, man? See, you always got to
Oh,
pick on
I used to
somebody.
mess with him all the time, man.
You
On
used
the
to mess with him on the
Unpacks.
show all the time. You sure did. I don't. But no, I don't know. I guess all light skinned people look like Alicia. I'm sorry, my fault. But anyway, but I know you've gone, Jarvis. I'm reading right there. I know you've gone through your own mountains, but even in some of the mountains that you've gone through, what was it like when you heard the Lord say, "You've gone through this long enough. Now it's time to change directions"?
You ever had a parent say that? Okay, you know what I mean. Now you can come eat. That's what it felt like. You know what I mean? Back in the
Wow.
day when kids used to get punished, they don't do it now because they would call defects on them. But back in the day when kids would get punished, they would say, you go to your room, you can't eat dinner tonight.
Oh wow. Yeah, they will
And
call it
then
dinner.
And then, after a while, a parent would come by and say, "Okay, now you can come eat." It was I would
That's
equate
a good
it to
analogy.
that feeling, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
because I had hurt, I had hurt, and so it took an acceptance, for
Wow.
me for a while. But what I typed in earlier, there were some things that I wanted God to do for me, but there was also some things that God wanted me to let go of,
Yeah.
and do in honor of Him. So I thought that I was doing a lot of things, but there were still some areas that I needed improving in. So it took a
Oh
whole
yeah.
culmination. But once those things came together,
Yeah.
and once I separated myself from a lot of things, and once I sacrificed enough, I did feel that voice one early morning, and that voice said, "Try him no more."
Wow.
And the moment that I heard that voice, my entire life changed.
Wow. So
It
you saying
did.
God still speaks?
Um,
I'm being very
God's
facetious. I'm being
God
very
speaks.
facetious to answer that question.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I know, no, no, no. But God speaks. But a lot of times we don't silence the noise around us enough
Mm.
to hear His voice. Meaning, well, a lot of us, for the first thing we do in the morning is we wake up in the morning. We either grab the remote or we grab our phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of taking that those moments to pray
That's good.
and then just take a complete silence.
That's good.
Sometimes you just got to lay sideways in silence. You know what I mean? Because what used to happen to me, and I'll be honest with you, Kirk, man, what used to happen to me, there was times that it would almost come through like a radio echo.
Yeah.
If you're spiritually in tune, you would hear spiritual voices that would come in, and whether it was God or whether it was ancestors or whether it was, angels, or if it was whatever it was, sometimes you would s- hear something that sounded like a radio
Wow.
voice coming in your ear, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that only happened to me in my life when I was spiritually closer.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
more I would introduce, as I mentioned, the more I would introduce sin, and the more I would get back worldly, the farther I would get away from it, and the less I would hear those voices. So God fixed a lot of my problems. He did. He did. And I can only blame myself for the times that I would get back and I would forget. But God is faithful. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
patient. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, but the
That's
storms
good.
that I delivered you from, I can give right back to you. And so the divorce, man, I went through that.
Yeah.
The no furniture laying sideways, I went through that. But I pray you never have to go through it. But losing, earthly parents, and then losing, a child, and then
Yeah.
losing things that are just that mean the universe to you, you know, you question why God allows these things to happen. But
Yeah.
when it comes to things being placed on people, He places them on certain people.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with my own daughter. You know what I mean? And that parents only discipline children that they really love. Because if they don't, excuse my friends, if they don't give a fuck about you, they ain't gonna. You gonna do your own thing.
Pretty
Do what
much.
you got to do out there, whatever. I don't care. Just don't
Cause
bring it back home. But God isn't like that.
yeah.
If He really loves you, He gonna put something on you. He
Yeah.
gonna he gonna put a weight on top of you. He gonna pull them shoulders down. You know what I mean? He's gonna make you have to go physically go through something. And when you go through it and you do it successfully, like I'm like you, James. You probably, like I said, we got a lot in common. My dad used to shine his shoes every night.
Hmm.
And so when I was homeless and when I was in Alabama and I was walking the streets, guess what I did? I pulled out that little buffing kit. I still shine my shoes because I guess
Wow.
guess what? If I'm walking to work, they're not gonna know what I'm going through. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? If I'm
Yeah.
changing clothes in McDonald's, my shirt is still rolled up nice enough where they know that I look decent. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be a certain point that I'm still walking so upright that you know what I mean, and I made it through. That God's gonna say, okay, all
That's
right,
good.
don't try him no more. He all right. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
You
And
know.
so people don't realize, man, what others are going through, right? Because
Right.
like you said, you wasn't gonna look like some people say, a lot of people a lot of people look like love to say I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah, some of them do.
No, I look exactly like what I've been through. Hey,
Yeah, some of them
man,
do.
that's some buzz. I ain't
Not
gonna cuss
today.
right now.
Not
Yeah,
today.
huh?
Not
Yeah,
today.
no,
Not
but
today.
I'm cool with that though. You
Not
know what I'm
today.
saying? Because let me
You
tell you
don't look
something.
like what you don't look like what you've been through. James, you look good. You know what I'm
I look
saying?
exactly like, let me tell you, because the thing is, it depends
Nah.
on what you hold on. What the part you're missing. Let me get to my point. I'm only at the comma. Let me get to the period. Watch this. Because see, you looked at the seed, right? In the seed, look, the seed was the process.
All right.
I always saw the front of the package. I knew what the
Okay.
front of the package was going to look like, right? When you go to Home Depot and you decide you want to plant some flowers in the yard, a lot of times you don't just go get the flower, you get the seed, right?
Okay.
And so the seed is planted in the ground. And if it stays in the ground long enough and you put water on it, you put fertilizer on it, you put shit, I ain't gonna say, you put manure on it, you put all this stuff on it,
Right.
eventually it comes forward. And that's what I expected it to look like because I saw the front of the package. See, you say I look like you say I don't look like what I've been through, but I always saw me here.
No.
No, hold on.
I mean,
I,
you always envision yourself right there. Okay.
yeah. So I look exactly like what I've been through. That's to
No.
me, and that's my
No.
perception. Now you can't
No.
change it. I ain't gonna
No.
argue with you on
No,
it.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna,
no.
I'm gonna hit
You don't have to argue with me, man, because you said been through.
I
You
look
didn't say what I
exactly.
knew. You didn't say I look like what I knew
I
I would be. You said
no.
I
I
look
look
like what I've
exact.
been through.
That concoction was just like that batter that mama had in that mixing bowl.
Nah.
That earned it up being a cake. Yep, that's
Hot
my
water
story. I'm telling
cornbread in the
you.
bowl
Hey,
before you
yeah, we gonna
pat it
kick
out.
Jarvis out.
Don't look like nothing like when you fried
Yeah,
it in.
I
It,
look,
it-
I look like what I've
hot
been through.
water
Oh, the Jarvis.
cornbread.
Hey,
Hot water
Jarvis Talley.
cornbread.
Hey,
All
y'all,
right.
listen. Jarvis got his testimony. I got my testimony. But one thing about it, I sure ain't been tell Jarvis his testimony. God bless you tonight, Jarvis. I'm about to get off. That's my boy.
I
Y'all
love you,
say good night
bro,
to Jarvis.
man.
I love you
All
back,
right.
boy. And hold on, when I kick him out, watch this. And I still look like. Oh, hold on, I messed up.
Yeah.
Let
You
me kick
don't
him
look
out again
nothing
for real.
like what you've been through. You better
Oh, there you
cut
go.
my mic
Hold
off.
on.
Look at
I'm
them
gonna kick
cheeks.
him out for real. All right, there you go. That's how I wanted to do right there. I still look like he's going. I have the kicking power, and I wear a size 12, y'all. So if I want to kick you out of here, I'm gonna kick you out of here. And I'm gonna kick you as far as I can. So he's kicked. That's my boy. Let me come back and say, bye. All right, I kicked him out again. So I look exactly like what I've been through. No, I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking, y'all. Listen, it's been real tonight. This has been a rich conversation. I'm tired now. But listen, some of us are frustrated because we thought we were late, right? But God was just waiting for Egypt to get out of you. He didn't just want to take them out of Egypt, but he also had to take Egypt out of them. That's why they had to let certain things die because they couldn't go into this new. God, there's some stuff going into your next season that has to fall off. Apostle Paul said, I die every day. A little bit more every day. I die to some wheels. I heard Charles E. Williams say that I died to the wheels. My own will. I died to some ways. I died to some of my wants because the things that I used to do, I don't want to do them things no more because I'm grown now. I've matured to a certain place. And the things that used to bother me, they don't bother me no more because I'm healed. I'm delivered. And that's where I'm trying to be. So now, you know what? It's time to move forward on the path. On the path. Hold on. I'm moving too slow. On the path to better. And I invite you to join me on this path to better. It's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. So who's ready to move forward with me? If you're ready to move forward with me, raise your hand in the chat. And let's say that we're going to move forward and we're going to go towards our new north. All right. That's our show tonight. I hope you have enjoyed it. I certainly have. I thank Avery. I thank Brittany. And I thank the other Avery that I call, that his real name is Jarvis. I keep calling him that. So I'm sorry. My bad, Jarvis. I know your name. Really, I do know your name. There's no way not to know your name. But it's been real. It has been real. And as I always say in closing, I would announce the contest, but I'm changing the deadline on that because we got some slow participation right now. So I'm moving that back a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna create a commercial, and I'll just spread it like that. But as I always say in closing, the world is changing. My question for you is, why do you remain the same? Thank y'all for tapping in. Good night, and I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all.
Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew with James Kirklin.
Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Have you ever found yourself
Are you dating for that person?
informative and
I feel
inspirational?
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager.
Intellectual